What's happening, Wolf Pack? Welcome back to another episode of Market Watch Mondays. I got a lot to cover today, but before we do, man, you know what fucking time it is, baby. Hit that intro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm recording this on Saturday night at what is it, 11:21 p.m. my time, because you know we're always fucking grinding at Big Dogs, trying to get you that content to give you the edge. And the reason why I'm recording tonight ahead of the games tomorrow is because the topics I want to cover today are not really going to get impacted by what happens tomorrow, right? This is not going to be a player evaluation episode. This is going to be another strategic and process episode. I got some good feedback on the last one I did on that, so I just want to give you guys some more insight into how I think and how I approach things this time of the year. And there's a couple of topics I want to cover, but the first thing I want to cover is chasing championships, right? More important, no, not chasing championships, because if you're chasing championship, you're a true contender, but more so along the lines of chasing playoffs, right? Right now I see a lot of people asking me for trade advice on Twitter where they're like, hey, man, I'm like a middle of the pack team in my dynasty squad, and I feel like I'm one or two pieces away from getting the playoffs, right? And my advice to you is don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. I would say don't even do it like in any normal year. That's my advice. Is like don't be a middle of the pack chasing playoffs team. Don't be that guy, right? Because like you don't want to be stuck in the middle. And like the true test if you're a contender is what I do is I look at my top 2 to 3 teams in the league. And if you look at their teams, you're damn, damn, that's a fucking squad that I don't really think I have a good shot at beating. Then you're not a true contender. If you're not one of those teams, you're not a true contender. And you don't want to be in the middle because the middle is dynasty purgatory and you never get out of the middle. Because what happens when you're in the middle is you get middling rookie picks and you get, the bottom guys get the studs that come in every year, the running back studs, and the middle guys, you're getting like maybe a wide receiver here or there. And a wide receiver here or there is not going to take you from middle of the pack to top of the top contender, right? So that's why you do not want to do that. But this year specifically, there is so much more variance. And I talked about this in the offseason. The reason why I wanted you to build for depth is because variance is incredibly high this season, right? Not just because of the injuries that have happened, but because of COVID. We've already seen this play out. Like the Tennessee Titans, you basically lost them for a week, and like every day you're getting new news and you're trying to figure out, like, oh man, like, do I want to risk playing Tannehill waiting on Tuesday, or do I just play like a shitty player like Kyle Allen? Like, these are real decisions people are making, right? And if you're a middle of the pack team, and let's say you pay your first round pick to get that one extra guy. Let's say you pay your first round pick to get like a Robert Woods, right? What happens if the LA Rams, someone tests positive for COVID? And then you're fucked, right? You're fucked for like a week or two and you get 2 more losses. The next thing you know, you're 2-4, you're out of the playoffs, and you just sold your first round pick for someone that you thought was going to take you to contention. But at the end of the day, you're basically back to square one and you're another middle of the pack. And now you don't have a rookie pick to help you next year, right? That's why I don't want you guys chasing playoffs. Like, you don't want to be the guy that's like, all I need is, one more guy. All I need is like to get lucky in the first round of the playoffs. All I need is this. All I need is that. Don't be a fucking all I need guy. All I need guys are the ones that get stuck in dynasty purgatory forever, and that's not where you want to be at all. Okay? So that's step one. Do not chase championships any year, but do not chase playoffs this year, because you will pay the fucking price if you pay your rookie picks at a low value. And that kind of segues perfectly into my next topic, is what to do with rookie picks, right? There's way too many times where I'm on like Twitter and I see guys asking for trade advice. They're like, hey, Mike, should I give up a late first round, a late rookie first, a late 2021 first, and like, this guy for, a player, right? And my response is always, one, do not fucking value your rookie pick as a late first, right? There are very few instances where I ever sell a rookie first as a late first. You know why? Because when you do that, all you do is shift the upside from yourself to whoever you're trading with. Because what happens if your star player gets injured, right? What happens if like Saquon Barkley got injured, right? What happens if CMC gets injured? You viewed your team as a late first, right? I have a team that's dynasty, one of the first big dog dynasty team ever. I have CMC and Michael Thomas, right? And selling your first as a late round first might have looked good, like, at the beginning of the year, but now that doesn't look so fucking smart, right? Because I lost CMC, I lost MT for a few weeks, and like that team is like a little bit treading water, right? So that's like a cautious tale to all of you guys who are trying to sell first round picks. But this year, especially, like if your player gets hit with COVID, again, you're fucked, right? If your player gets injured, again, you're fucked. Like you do not want to make that deal, because that deal is one where you do not capture upside, and you always want to capture upside, right? I'm not saying to fuck over the other side, but like you want to be the one that gets as much of the upside as possible. When I make trades, I'm looking for upside. I'm okay overpaying as long as I get upside. So you do not want to make trades that give up that upside. And secondly, this year in particular, like every year, rookie picks are great. I've talked about this. Like I think rookie picks are one of the most undervalued assets ever in Dynasty every single year. You know why? Because they increase in value every single year without fail. And this year will be no different. Do not listen to drones talking about how like, oh, if the college season gets canceled, yada yada yada. Like, oh, maybe these prospects don't get as much practice in. Like, oh, maybe they're not as valuable. Like, fuck that, dude. Fuck that. I've been telling people to fuck that noise for like fade that noise forever now, because it doesn't matter what you think. Like, just look at today, right? If you're watching college football today, like all the stars like came out. Travis Etienne, like 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris, like 200 plus yards and like 5 touchdowns. These guys are going to skyrocket every single year. It happens like clockwork. And this year will be no different, regardless of COVID, which is why you got to hang on to those picks. And more importantly, now is a great time to buy picks. Why? Because a quarter of the season has happened, right? And you have most of your leagues will have a better picture of like what's going on, like who are the leaders, the true top contenders are separating themselves, and they'll be looking for depth, right? And then the real guys that are, that things didn't go their way, like maybe they're sitting there 0-4, 1-3, they're thinking about doing rebuilds now, right? But the place you want to target is that middle tier, the guys that I talked about before, the fish, the all I need guys, right? You want to target those guys because they think that all I need is another player to like move into the playoffs. You want to target those rookie first round picks, and you want to offer up, I'm not saying to go rip them off, but you want to offer up like guys like Robert Woods, aging stars on your team, like maybe like Chris Carson's, who are balling out, maybe like David Johnson's and James Connors, all these types of guys. You want to go to those guys and try and acquire the rookie picks, because what happens is they're going to buy that, they're going to sell their pick, and they're going to think, okay, this is going to make me a playoff team, so it's going to be a late first probably, right? And what's going to happen is that player might get injured, right? If that player gets injured, one of their other players might get injured. One of their other players might get COVID. Next thing you know, they're fucking 2-4 and they're out of the playoffs. And they're going to be one, itching to buy their first back. So you can either sell it to them back at a premium, or two, they're going to be dumping their team. And you're just going to see that first round pick you traded for go up in value. And trust me, there's no better feeling than trading for someone's first early 3 weeks down the line to see them fucking blow up their team. That's how you get to a quick road to rebuild. And that's why I stock rookie picks in my rebuilds, because you never know when that guy is going to hit a bad luck or a bad spot in the road, and players going to get hurt, and they're just going to start tanking, and you're going to basically reap the rewards of them tanking their own team. And even though they don't have their first, they're going to have to tank because their team is fucked, right? So really find those guys in the middle, those middling teams, and target their first round picks, right? But the other part of this thing is you want to get as many of them as you can, right? Even if you get like what people sell as late first, like I said, never ever sell your pick as a late first round pick, because you never know what's going to happen. But as you accumulate these picks, each one compounds value for the other. What do I mean by that? If you read the BDG draft guide, I talked about this a little bit, but I want to cover it in more detail here. And when I acquire, let's say I'm sitting on like 3 or 4 first round picks already, right? And I acquire another pick. I'm actually always willing to like, offer a discount on my player to get that additional pick, because what that pick does is it gives you the flexibility to move up and down in a draft as you please without missing on your player. When you only have one first round pick and you choose to move back, you might not get your player anymore. But let's say you if you have like 4 of the first 8 picks in the first round, chances are you can move back, trade back, acquire additional second round picks for future first round and second round picks, and still land your player. And anytime you can do that, it's a fucking beautiful thing. It gives you control of the draft. And later on in the year, I'll probably share some of my one year turnaround teams in Dynasty. where I purposely entered a productive struggle in year one, knowing that I turn around year two by collecting a massive picks. And like it works beautifully every time because what it does, it creates scarcity, right? I'm all about creating scarcity. All of my underlying concepts and drafts, if you read it, what you'll see is it's all about creating scarcity and value because that artificially props up the value of all the other assets you own. So if you're the one that owns 4, 5 first round picks, who do you think people are going to come to trade? Other guys that only have one picks, they probably have a player in mind that they want to target. So it's going to cost a lot more for them to pry that pick out of them. It's going to, so like, and most of the time, like they don't even want to do it. Like trying to trade into a rookie draft when you don't have one. Trust me when I tell you this, it's a fucking pain in the ass and damn near impossible because everyone has rookie fever. I don't care if you're an analyst, a casual, high stakes player. Everyone suffers from the same thing, right? So the more anchors, I call them anchors, the more anchors you have in a draft, the better because you'll be able to trade in and out and flex and still get your guys. And it just like offers incredible value. So when you have more first round picks, adding that additional one compounds value. So that is a concept that I want you guys to really understand and grasp. And sometimes be willing to sell cheap on a player to get that future first if you are able to control the draft, right? And the second thing I want to talk about is everyone always talks about rookie busts, right? Everyone says like, "Oh, like dude, rookie picks are overvalued because look at the bust rate on first round picks. The bust rate on first round picks is like 50%, right? Which means you only hit 1 and 2. So chances are if you have 5 picks, you're going to bust 3 or 4 of them, right? Or you're going to bust like 2 of them at least, right? Or maybe 3 of them if you're unlucky. And what I have to say to that is it's fucking baloney, man. First of all, there's various things you can use on the analytics side to drastically reduce your bust rate. The bust rate is nowhere near 50% if you know what you're doing, right? I'd say it's probably closer to like maybe like 30 to 40% depending on where you're at, where you're drafting, whether it's running back or wide receiver, but it's nowhere close to 50%. But that's totally irrelevant because what that doesn't account for is the value accrual between now and draft day of rookie picks. It is the safest investment you can make. There is a 0% chance your rookie pick drops in value between now and the draft, right? No chance. It's not going to happen. Every year, like clockwork, it goes up. So, what you're doing, if you're in a rebuild specifically, you're basically taking a player which has a risk of busting, whether it's injury, ill performance, whatever, taking that value and locking it in to a first round pick, which is an investment you're making, which is guaranteed to increase in value over time. Okay. So that concept is something that gets overlooked, right? So when you're talking about bust rates only come into play when you fucking use the pick on a rookie. You don't you could like a lot of the time I rarely ever use a pick on a rookie. You know what I'm doing? When it's leading up to the draft, after the NFL drafts come out, after you get like player landing spots and people start getting the dreamy, bubbly eyes about like, oh my God, this is the next Saquon Barkley. This is the next Adrian Peterson. This is the next DeAndre Hopkins. That's when I'm looking to trade for vets, right? That's how you do a 1 year turnaround. That's how you get like proven assets using those rookie picks. So all those like 50% bust rates can kiss my ass because I don't even let it get to the point where I'm worrying about that bust rate, right? I'm already trading those assets on the clock at full value before I even see those rookies step on the field for proven assets to build a team. Now, granted, I still really love some rookies and I'll use a couple of picks on them, but there's no way you'll ever see me hoard 5, 6 rookie picks and then use all 5 of them rookie draft. That is the single biggest failure you can make, an erasement of the total value that you've accrued by gathering all these rookie picks is if you use all of them, right? That's the biggest mistake that people make. It's not that they accrue and gather and hoard all these rookie picks. That's a great process, in my opinion, if you're rebuilding. But the mistake people make is they end up using it. And you don't have to, right? And that's why the bust rates don't matter to me. What I care about is the value accrual between now and draft day. And there's no other asset in Dynasty that accrues value like a first round pick does. So I hope this was helpful. This is a little bit look into my process. And I think, maybe a couple weeks down the line, I'm going to show you exactly how I use this process to actually turn a team from basically bottom of the league to top 2 contender within 1 year. And I'll show you that process in detail. I'm not gonna include it in this video because that'll make this video way too fucking long. I just want to cover the process now so you understood. All right. So quickly, just to go over those 3 points again. One, Do not chase playoffs if you're a middling team, right? 2, do not trade rookie picks as if they're a late first rookie pick. Huge mistake. 3, accrue rookie first right now. This is the perfect time. And more importantly, accrue them from the middle of the pack teams that are chasing playoffs that think they're one piece away, because that is the greatest upside that you can secure. All right. So hope you guys found that helpful. I will be back at you again next week with another Market Watch Mondays. We'll have all the regularly scheduled videos on bunk bed breakdowns this week as well. We'll record the film. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, we do not have as many fucking injuries this week as we did in prior weeks. Let's please, please, please protect the stars. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys found it helpful. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and join the fucking Wolf Pack movement. I promise you, it's going to be worth your time. I'm going to give you insight on my process. I'm going to make you a better Dynasty player. If I don't, I mean, shout at me. Don't tuck your shirt in. I don't care. Just post in the comments. Any type of feedback, positive or negative, I will always try and incorporate and look at it. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best to help you guys out where I can. So yeah, that's all, man. Hope you guys found it helpful. Wolfpack out.